historical context in which this is occurring. I think what's most interesting is that it's really kind of the confluence of three global occurrences. So on one hand, you have the Cold War going on. The second thing, you have the Arab-Israeli conflict, and then you have Western imperialism. And all three of these major global events or occurrences are all kind of overlapping, all kind of converging on this one event. And so obviously you have the Cold War, competition between the United States and the Soviet Union. The early Cold War, late 40s, it really kind of focused on Europe, Western Europe in particular. 1950, you have the outbreak of the Korean War, which inflamed tensions, kind of turned the Cold War hot in that sense. Now you can almost see the Cold War moving to another region, right? So we went from Europe to Asia, and now we're in the Middle East. Both are interested in the region for strategic purposes. It's a source of oil, a place for potential military bases. So both those countries are interested there, and both would prefer the other one not to be in the region. So they're trying to deny each other access to it. The Arab-Israeli conflict, which, with the establishment of Israel in 1948 as a state, and that tension eventually led Britain to basically say, we can't deal with this. And so they gave the problem to the newly created United Nations. And the United Nations creates a commission which recommends partition of Palestine. So one Jewish state and an Arab state. Arabs reject this. There's fighting among Arabs and Jews in Palestine. And then eventually when Israel declares independence in 1948, that's when you get a war between Israel and her Arab neighbors led by Egypt. And so that's kind of that Arab-Israeli conflict leading into the Suez Crisis. With European imperialism, Britain had long been a major power in the region. The area we consider the modern-day Middle East had belonged to the Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire had, during World War I, sided with the Central Powers. And then when they lost, their territory in the Middle East basically went to the victors. Now, it wasn't outright colonial acquisition like in the 19th century. It was kind of a new system. The League of Nations created this mandate system where these former territories that belonged to the Ottoman Empire were under the control of Britain and France. And the idea was that they would prepare the inhabitants for eventual independence sometime in the future. And so Britain controlled modern-day Iraq and Palestine, which would become modern-day Jordan and Israel. France had Lebanon and Syria. By the 1950s, though formal imperial control is gone, you still have these informal mechanisms like control of a company right in the heart of Egypt that controls a vital international waterway. And so all these different major global occurrences are all kind of overlapping in this one conflict, which kind of heightens and intensifies the potential ramifications of it.